In 2020, I uploaded the craziest game of 2020, and I think I just found the craziest game of 2021. What's up, everyone? This is a 1v1 arena game. Arena so frequently brings some insanity, but none quite like this, okay? So this is pretty high-level stuff. We've got 1750, 1800-ish ranked players. Does put you within the top 1,000 players in the world. And we actually have someone who's part of my team now. We're going to call it Deontay. Deontay here in the blue has been helping me out with searching for games and whatnot. We search for the YouTube channel. Anyways, unimportant. This is a fast castle for Deontay. And this is a strategy that I believe is going to absolutely wreck 99% of the player base. And I believe it will actually lead to the devs nerfing the bonus I'll talk about in a few minutes. So we have Sicilians for Deontay. And this is a very fast castle build. You notice the player is on stone, so probably thinking about a castle drop. Now, over here, we have Bohemians for And Bohemians, I've also uploaded a lot in the channel ever since they came out. And Bohemians are also insane on Arena and have featured in a lot of all-in. So if this is the first time you've seen my content in a while and you really are itching for it again, check up some of those other uploads about Bohemians. But what's going to start this crazy game off is the castle drop. Notice this build order. We've got one on berries, one on farms. Villagers from gold transferring over to stone. Everything about this build is to get to the opponent's base and drop a castle in their face as quickly as possible. Because Sicilians, for some crazy reason, build castles and town centers 100% faster. So here we have 9 villagers. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, why is blue attacking red's walls? Why is he letting red know what's happening here? Well, check it out. Villagers started attacking the gate, but this is a donjon. This is like a tower building that the Sicilians have. And in this, you can produce military units too, which is pretty tricky. And anyways, this strategy is crazy because it allows you to break through their walls. You see this? Red can't do anything about that. Red was thinking about walling behind this. Red can't do that because the donjon's up. Now the eco is pretty all in, so don't expect a lot of food and whatnot. But anyways, Deontay, no eco upgrades, is now 5 seconds away from Castle Age, and will be in Castle Age a minute before the enemies in Castle Age. So, here's the Sergeant. I don't think Deontay will be able to make too many of these. But here come these villagers. Now, you could maybe consider towering, but if you tower and then they place the castle back here, your towers are a waste. So I don't really think there's much red could have done beyond just wall this out. And you can see blue didn't quite have the stone. Now, watch how fast this thing goes up. Watch how fast this thing goes up. Zoom! It's already at 25%. So anyways, this castle is just going to fly up, and it's going to start off the craziest game of 2021. I've seen a lot of games. I truly do not think that any game matches this one in terms of craziness. All right, so villager's going to die, unfortunately, on the farms. Castle is within the... town center is within the castle's range. Double monastery response for red. So the idea for red is... well, take advantage of the fact that Bohemians have very cheap monasteries and make some defense in the form of monks. And we're going to see another TC for red. Red does have loom coming in now, so didn't have loom. And red does have food eco, but the food eco is over here. Now, normally what you do in Arena is like you try and take map control, you try and get relics. Nope! Not yet. Now, the good news about red's position, and there's not really much that's good about this, but I'd say if there was one positive, it's the fact that Sicilian's unique unit isn't really that strong. So it's not really a unique unit that you can benefit from if you're blue. I mean, there is one in here, and they're trying to break down the market right now, which can't be stopped. But this is crazy. So blue's going to break through. And if you look at blue's economy, blue's still on stone. So the first castle is going to take out the first TC. And blue just wants to go for castle drops. That's pretty much it, which is pretty rare for top 1,000. I know it happens a lot at middle and low elo. I think it's going to happen more frequently, actually, because of these, because of this bonus and because of this video right here, maybe, as people become more and more aware. I did notice that red has sent a monastery out here, so red's going to try and get the relics and be sneaky with that. That will help. Red's going to try and get a villager conversion there. Red's trying to keep the TC up. All this is good Because right now, red is leading in terms of eco upgrades and military. 35 pop versus 33. But this is just a never-ending cycle. This town center is eventually going to go down. Now, red's got the right idea. Red's thinking, I'll just go to stone. So I'll like, try and buy time, go to stone. And then I'll build my own castle and stop blue from pushing in further. But he's already lost a lot of space. Can't take this gold, can't take this stone. Now, the scout's very active for blue. And blue sees that the monk is out here. So blue has a really good idea of the fact that red's going to try and get the relics. Blue also has the sergeant too. So I think that that's a really smart point here. If the opponent were to get all 5 relics or even just get villagers out here, the idea of trapping someone in with castles would not work out too well, right? So we'll see what happens. Siege workshop for blue. This is something red can see. And so red now has to debate on what to do about this. Now, red no longer has a market. The market went down. And guys, that is going to start this game, start this off getting crazier, right? Because I think what red wanted to do is buy 300 stone to drop a castle, but didn't have the market to do that. And now blue just walks forward. Sure, there's monks to convert the villagers, but with the Sicilian bonus, this castle is going to build extremely fast. Anyways, you got some villagers that are going to change sides here. So I believe they prefer to have the blue trunks because of how crazy this is about to get. Look at this! So many of us would just resign, but red's like, I'm going to try, I guess. Maybe I'll make it into a video someday. Oh my god, this is ridiculous! This is what red had. This is what red sees. This is game over. Surely, right? Surely it's game over. Hey, check this out. We've got a spearman over here protecting the monk. There's also some monks inside of that monastery. That's cute. Blue now has 2 castles. Let's get a blue economy update. Not too much going on here. Just a couple farms and that's about it. Here, red's going to get relic number 2, so that's going to help. And now red had to build the market and is now going to drop a castle here, which is a problem because blue now has a mangonel. So, this mangonel here is going to try and stop this castle. Now, you'll notice this castle builds a lot slower because it's not Sicilians, but red's doing an okay job. Hasn't lost villagers yet. Villagers here going down. Redemption's on the way. After redemption completes, the monks can convert siege. But for now, they can't. So the villagers are just like, guys, why are you making me build this? They go to attack. They go to repair. Now the monks are going to convert the siege. And whoop! 2 monks go down. But this means the castle can go up. And blue is killing a bunch more villagers in the process. So when I saw this game... When I saw this far of the game, or this much of the game, excuse me, I looked at the situation and said, this is game over. It's definitely going to go to YouTube. It's a great game. It's a great all-in strategy from blue. It's game over. There's no possible way for red to win. Red disagrees. Red's going to give it a shot, guys. Red does not have a town center. Red has 2 castles in his face. A market, a lumber camp, a castle, and a dream, and a will to live. And red is looking for resources, maybe trying to get out of here. And over here, you'll notice, now this is a mistake here. You see the sergeant attack the monk. Sergeants don't take out monks too quickly. And so these villagers are going to make a run for it right now. Now, a lot of you guys might be thinking, well, this has to be game over because blue is going to have good economy. The reason blue is in this position is because blue doesn't really have good economy. You'll notice this now. Like, blue is able to afford all these things because of the lack of eco. So here you have it. The monks now, we're going to convert the siege. That gets deleted. And the villagers are going to come over here and get some stone. Meanwhile, we have rams on the castle. Now, this is amazing. Because redemption is in, monks can convert the siege. But in order to convert a ram, you need to be right next to it. So we had 1 ram converted. And so it's a ram war right now. And if red wins this ram war, red will then have a ram against blue's castle. Crazy. Okay, relic number 3. I'm going to switch over to this now. You can see the KD is insane. Relic number 3 coming in there for red. That's going to give red some economy. Red is behind by 8 villagers. We see horse color for blue, thinking about farms finally. I like to see it. The ram's still going to town here on this castle. Sergeant that was also converted. Red has really made use of the units that were brought over from the enemy this game. Oh, that's funny. Look at that. In and out of the castle there from blue just to take out this ram. Sneaky stuff. And good job there. And I believe Sicilians also repair faster, so we could actually see blue try and repair this. As blue sends a scout out here, and blue is well aware now that red is in the middle. Blue doesn't know what's out there, but blue knows red is no longer really in here beyond this castle. So red has enough stone to now drop a castle. So red's thinking, okay, you're going to take my base. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. We're going to see a castle here. Sneaky stuff. Sicilians build town centers faster. Red says, nope, that's my gold. Stay away, please and thank you. And blue says, okay. Very respectful. Very respectful. So yeah, we'll have double castle here. And red is making petards now in the castle. So not spending food on any villagers. Has even been buying food and is going to go for petards. Hopefully to try and take out that castle. Now over here we have a sergeant. This sergeant was converted. This sergeant's been around the world on both sides, and the sergeant's now into blue's economy. Blue has a very good economy. Blue has very good offensive pressure. But blue not really able to back it up too much, and red somehow hanging on. We're at 44 pop versus 42. But blue doesn't know there's petards in here. It takes 8 petards to take out a full HP castle, but this one's pretty weak now. The sergeant ended up going down to the TC. Sorry for not showing you that, but here comes red. So red finishes all the neutral stone, is now going to send villagers this way. Hasn't had a town center for like 10 minutes. Now, I think red's going to tank with the wagon. Check this out. You send the wagon out. It'll attract the aggro. And then blue noticed what was happening there. And blue, that was also a really good play from blue. Ejected the sergeants to block the petards. So some of those petards ended up going down. This castle goes down to 71 HP. Now, blue's just trying to keep red in here. At least whatever's left. And we had 19 HP on that castle. Red's got to be pissed and tilted. Somehow, it is now being repaired by one villager. Don't ask me how this happens. 2 castles firing on it and 1 villager repairing it. And it's going up. 1 more petard, 1 more wagon, one more gust of wind, and blue's castle would have gone down. But we have red's castle now here. Now remember, these monks have redemption, so you can't really use any siege units to deal with this. If you go for, like, I guess your best option if you're blue would be to go for light cav. But that's a lot of food, right? What blue wants to do is win the game by taking this position. So this is actually a really good move for blue. And I understand the strategy, but there's also a risk. So check this out. So blue is going to try and go fast Imperial. Because if blue makes it to the Imperial Age, blue can make trebs, and then blue can treb down red's castles. Then red will be exposed. Red will have nothing. Red cannot really even take gold right now. It does have 4 relics, not 5. I suppose in theory... Okay, yeah, here's some gold income for red, who still does not have a town center. The blue spent all this time to get these fancy farms going, but now doesn't really have defense, and doesn't have the stone, funnily enough, to be able to make a defensive castle. And I think a defensive castle would pretty much end the game. If you have a defensive castle and you're in the Imperial Age, you can then treb this down it, and then you can treb from the front. And you're pretty well protected. So here comes red with these wagons. Now red hasn't had a town center in a while, so red's kind of, you know, tempted to convert these villagers, I'm sure. Like, come over to my side. This castle's still up for blue, or somehow red's still able to take some of these resources. It's crazy. You've got villagers on opposite sides of the wood line chit-chatting. 2 minutes away from Imp is blue. The TC will be idle the entire time, but it's still better than not having a town center. And a lot of wood and a lot of gold income for red. Plus the relics, of course, are helping. And the thing is, these wagons are really difficult to kill. I talk about this all the time now on Arena. Very difficult to kill this thing. The best thing you can do to counter these wagons is monks. But Bohemians also have really good monks. So Bohemians could just convert your monks if they started to go for monks first. So blue's like, okay, I guess since red left his base, I could maybe leave mine? And so blue, who's taken most of the control of the enemy base, now has to leave and go to the middle. So both players have had to abandon their bases and go to the middle. 14 military versus 0, by the way. Red still struggling when it comes to vills. And red will never make its imp. That is not even a dream at this point. Imperial Age will never happen. So, here we have 2 villagers converted. Pay attention to that. That could be a pretty big deal. Suddenly, these villagers could take any resource they want. These villagers here are trapped, but Imperial Age is now in for blue, who immediately is going to make a treb from the front. This castle's still been doing work. I really wonder what would have happened in this game if that castle had gone down earlier. But blue, very fortunate there. Okay, these villagers are now going to make a siege workshop because red has wood and red has gold. So red is going to siege down blue's starting TC. So red has lost the starting TC and there's a castle there. And blue somehow, and it's just, when I was watching this the first time, I was like, it's crazy how it makes sense, you know? It's crazy how it actually makes sense to me, but yeah, blue's going to lose this town center, but blue's also going to push this. Now, what red would need to take out the treb would be rams, I think. Red doesn't have that. Red could technically convert the trebs with monks, but just like rams, you need to get very close, like right up against the treb to convert it, which is just impossible. And so now red's getting Bodkinera and making petards, and red is desperate. Red is going to have to deal with this. But at the same time, blue's distracted because blue's focused, right? Blue's a YOLO player, and blue's starting to lose some villas here. But does have 2 TCs, so I mean, much higher vill count. So remember before what happened, that one villager was able to repair, but blue doesn't have access to stone. Blue's off of this gold, off of this stone, because of the pressure from the wagons, also off of this gold. So actually, blue only has access to wood right now. Again, don't ask me how that happens. I suppose these villagers could go over to gold, but this is insane. So it's about to be 3 trebs. We have the wagon meat shield again from red, just like earlier. And you have to think blue's paying attention, but that's a lot of petards there, so the castle goes down. But does it mean that red can take care of the trebs? It takes care of the castle. It doesn't really change the situation much. Here's the rams. Or sorry, there's a ram, and then there's a Hussite wagon. The wagon's actually being repaired, so the TC will go down. Those villagers have not been working for a long time. And so TC down for blue, 43 pop. Red's lost 1 castle, about to lose 2, 44 pop. Who's winning? Okay, now guys, because blue's in the Imperial Age, because blue has a town center, I know that, you know, it would make sense to say blue's probably going to win this game. The problem is blue doesn't have anything beyond trebs to threaten the enemy. Like, monks, they can convert whatever blue would make. Any unit. And wagons are incredibly hard to kill. So you need a lot of units to convert it. So blue kind of needs to chase down the villagers as well. Doesn't really have much. So here come the trebs, and blue's like, okay, well, what I can do is I can take out red's castle. If I take out red's castle, then he can't make any more wagons. And then we're good. We even see fervor now for red, just for the faster monks. Now, I'm sure blue didn't think about this, as the population is almost dead even. But these 2 monks are just chilling here. And I've never really seen this in high-pressure 1v1 situations. You have the trebs going after the castle. It feels like red is desperate, scrambling, sending the wagons to go deal with that. And then red's like, wait, I have redemption. These are 2 free conversions. So the monks go in here. The monks convert the 2 trebs. And the castle goes down. So now red doesn't have a castle. But what red does have is siege. And siege to be able to take out blue's castles. This is insane. And the only thing that blue can really do to be able to take out the trebs now would be villagers. It's like, I don't know if this is quite accurate, but it's almost like blue played himself here. This is insane. Look, this treb, he knows his fate. He might even welcome it at this point. This treb's gonna pack up. Oh no, another treb has gone to red. These villagers are stuck. The wagons can take out the mango. This is insane. Red hasn't had a TC for 75% of this game. The population's still even. But red has tons of military, as now the Mangonels converted, the villagers attack. Look at this idle time, by the way. Blue's idle time is insane in this game. Just the amount of... Blue's had the villagers, but didn't have the villagers where the villagers were needed. You can see Blue has the right idea. Make scouts, make light cav. Okay, good damage there. I like that. But, you know, you would need to have the light cav upgrade, I think. And you need to have quite a few of them. And then that would only be for the monks. You still can't deal with the wagons. Blue is buying wood right now, probably to make a TC or something. I'm not too sure, actually, why Blue is buying wood. Maybe to make trebs to donate to the enemy again. I mean, here, Red's obviously very focused, right? So Red's going to lose these vills. And here comes the scout. We'll see if the scout can do it, and the scout's not going to be able to do it. Not against 4 monks. That's going to be a big nope. This is where most of Red's eco is. Or Blue's eco. Could be Red's eco if Red converts it. 41 pop for both. The Castle Age player is trebbing down the Imperial Age player. I've never seen that before. The Castle Age player is trebbing down the Imperial Age player. And just like I said before, these monks can always take the Mangonel, or you could have the wagons do it. And Red doesn't have a lot of eco to pay attention to, so Red is just microing away. Should protect the trebs, and we have, yep, just more villagers on gold. Here you've got villagers on gold. And yet Mangonel gets converted. And I think at this point, I mean, you look at the score if you're Blue, and you're just like, how? How did I lose that? The most created unit for Red was petards. The most created unit for Blue was Mangonels. Like, that's ridiculous. What happened in the game was ridiculous. The fact Red didn't resign is ridiculous. What the minimap looks like is ridiculous. Insane. Now, I put a lot of thought into this and how I was going to talk to you guys about it. Because a lot of you guys, rightly so, are going to be like, well, if Red wouldn't have lost the... Like, it was such a silly move from Blue to lose the trebs. And obviously, I agree. That sucks, right? But I want to go back to that point real quick before we close the video. And I just want to think about what... Like, if this wouldn't have happened, what would have happened in the game, okay? So, let's say Blue realizes the monks are there and starts backing away with the trebs. The castle never goes down, okay? So castle never goes down because the monks are always going to be there. Well, what probably happens is the push continues for Red. So Red's probably going to harass here. Blue will not have food eco. So still, Blue will not be in a position to be able to make a counter, right? And make scouts, which is a problem. However, like maybe Blue is able to take out some of this. I'm still kind of unconvinced. It was almost like Blue's strategy was so... It's dominant because I think a lot of people do not try like Red tried. A lot of people just resign and they're like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to go watch a video of someone else playing. This is too stressful. Yeah, I mean, Red just continued to fight and fight, and then Blue had 2 very weak positions on the map. And the TC meant nothing, and the castle meant nothing, and without food, it couldn't be countered. I am just blown away by that game. And also thank you to Blue for sending that to me. Blue is my guy, hunting for some excellent games for YouTube for you guys. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not the craziest game of 2021. There's been a lot of games. Maybe I should make a video at the end of the year. Top 10 games of the year. Maybe this won't be on the list. Who knows? But I thought that was pretty freaking cool. The first thing I thought of was that's the craziest game I've seen this year. And I stuck with it. Blue, funnily enough, had more wood and food when Blue didn't have a lot of food near the end of the game. Red had more gold and stone, no surprise. Didn't really have many farmers or anything for most of that game. If you look at the up times and everything was real crazy there. My goodness, and here's the APM if that matters. Red had more to control. I don't think that really says too much. I apologize in advance for all the people who are going to get castle dropped by Sicilian players. I think that strategy is very, very strong and tough to deal with. It's just that Red was an absolute beast. So good luck with that. Maybe I'll touch on that in future videos. But as always, guys, thank you for watching. I will see you next time.